And we are back here at the Tallinn Song Festival grounds for the last 9 holes of the first round MPO Field 2024 European Disc Golf Festival. Last Elite Series of the season here in Europe. We are about to witness some great action. I'm still Maxime and with me still Elias Luukkonen.
What's up? Once again here, as you said, witnessing great action. We saw some great, maybe the greatest action we have seen on the front nine. Ricky going 9 under out of 9 holes.
How do you do that?
Yeah, just normal shots, honestly. He wasn't making any long putts. His longest putt was 9 meters. Rest of the guys, Niklas is not doing good, but both Albert and Simon very much in it.
The thing is, when you see Ricky playing that kind of level, you're in trouble to just say that Simon and Albert are playing good, because they are playing good. 4 and 5 down through 9 is really nice. It's just that they have a monster in the group. And we are moving on to the first hole of the back 9, hole 10, par 3, new one. What do you think about this one?
I think this is the hole that starts the more difficult stretch of the course. 115 meters. Low ceiling, you have a couple of gaps. You can choose to go towards this pink house with the forehand, hopefully fade just in front of it to the right. We're not playing to this blue basket, but rather the white one. Blue is the FPO basket, of course. You can also throw a low straight fairway driver with a backhand on the right side of the fairway. Those are really the two choices. There's OB everywhere on this hole though, long, left, right. Only way not to find the OB consistently is to not hit a tree and throw something very low.
And we have some cute families attending the event. Forehand, and that's a scary kick. He's gonna be in bounds. That should be an easy par.
Yeah, that's easy par. Really not a bad score on this hole, but that is a big momentum killer after we're throwing pretty much perfect on most of the holes on the front. And Niklas here, not quite deciding. You know, he wanted to go for that right gap, but just pretty much in the middle trees. You really have to choose left or right of those middle trees.
Okay, that's a good looking shot. If you can fade, not gliding too much. Good shot. Inside the circle, maybe obstructed by those branches in the tree. He's around. And Simon going with the backhand option. He was releasing too early yesterday, he corrected it. Yeah. Early kick, but nothing major. He'll be just there.
A nice touchy approach here. Really good shot for him once again. Now we saw him miss one of those short approaches on the front 9. On hole number 9. And Niklas there, just a jump putt. Pretty common thing on this hole, I feel like, that jump putt for the par. It's really tricky to get in the circle.
Okay, stay there. 5 meters tester. Should be cake for him. And now Albert to start the back 9 with a birdie. Low, slightly right. Shy attempt, I'd say.
Yeah, tough to see, you know. Had a great chance to get one back on Ricky here, but instead everybody's gonna be just taking a par. But you know, Albert, last year he was doing something similar on this very course. He was driving the disc extremely well, just missing some putts. I feel like that was ultimately what took him out of contention for the European Championship title, as Dennis Augustsson absolutely destroyed that tournament. But Albert, he was driving the disc as well as the winner, I feel like, last year.
Yeah, you're right. He knows the place, I'm pretty sure. And 4 pars, par frame on this one is pretty okay. That's a really hard birdie to get. Moving on to the first par 4 of the back 9, hole 11.
Yeah, another difficult birdie, I'd say. 233 meters. We're going just slightly downhill off the tee. So slight that it doesn't really affect the shot that you're throwing, but you can just get some extra glide at the end of the shot. Really the best shot here is going to be a straight to right finishing forehand off the tee. You can also throw a slight late turning backhand. And really if you're on the fairway of the second shot, it's either another forehand, this time more of a hyzer, or you can go for a backhand turnover. You can throw pretty much the same shot twice on this hole, which I think is pretty cool.
And nice energy brought by the spectators. Shout out to them, a lot of people were there watching the pros. And the forehand action for Ricky, going super deep. Very nice shot to just ease the second shot. I'd say the longest you are, the more comfortable you will be on the second.
Yeah, I feel like Ricky was able to push it pretty far, which is nice. Niklas here. This is the common mistake with the forehand. He's inbounds. There's OB on that right side, also OB on the left. But it's very easy to fade out too early with the forehand. You really want to push it pretty straight off the tee.
Early. Right side, it should be okay. Pretty hard to go to the green, I'm pretty sure, from that spot. And I like this option more. Slight turnover, controlling the distance, knowing the OB if you go too straight and too far. That's just tricky with the second shot. The shorter you are, the more technical shot you will have on the second. As you can see here, he needs to go around with a roller shot. That's great.
Yeah, really good angle. I'm impressed with how he was able to avoid all of those early branches going fully over them, and that's a great result. Of course, you know, it's a choice on this hole. Most players making that aggressive shot off the tee with a roller. Niklas maybe going with a roller as well?
Is it? Not able to see what's happening here. Oh. He was going with the roller. With the low ceiling, not the easiest option, I'd say.
This is such a common place to land on this hole. All of those early fading forehands are here, and as you said, such a low ceiling. Roller is really the only shot that can consistently reach the basket. Compared to Ricky, perfect position. Just a big forehand hyzer, and this is looking pretty nice.
Man, what a shot from the tee pad, you know? Everybody's coming out short and just trying to do something with those trees in the middle of the fairway on the second. He was so deep, just open shot to the green. And he's gonna go for a 10 down 311, which is pretty solid.
Really solid, and yeah, I feel like Ricky has... You don't see him as a huge, big distance forehand thrower, but he throws it as far as anybody else. I don't think there's a player on tour that throws consistently further than Ricky as Simon. Look at that. He's even surprised himself.
Thank you for the highlight, Simon. That's the second on the round after hole 4. What a line. You can enjoy some slow-mos here. Okay, that's why he reacted like that. Helped by the branches. You can see, he can enjoy. Thank you guys. And that's a good birdie. 5 down now.
And he's such a field player. You know, it's great to see. Of course, the sport is going in a more professional way, but he's having so much fun out there, playing with a lot of emotion. And Ricky here, as you said, to go 10 under through 11. Back to the birdie train.
10 down through 11 holes is crazy on this course. Now Albert to save a bogey. Oh. That can be a base killer, man. 4 or 5 meters?
Yeah, that's tough to see. And you know, it's hard to say this, but I feel like that's the problem with Albert sometimes. You know, his driving is always very good. Just the putting green can be a difficult place for him sometimes. Moving on to a really long par 3, 139 meters. even playing a little bit uphill at the end. Luckily for the players, we do have a slight tailwind here as the Baltic Sea is on the backside of the tee pad. It's actually very close, it's only about 200 meters away from this hole. Really the best shot here is gonna be a, flat to slight hyzer shot. You can throw a pretty glided disc, hang it out there to the wide right side and hopefully just get that big fade to the basket.
Some content creation for Simon, and that's a hard one. 139 is more playing like a 150 meter shot, you'd say?
I think so.
And for sure, Mr. Wysocki is just under the basket just to show everybody that he has distance in his pocket also. That's gonna be 11th birdie.
Incredible. He went so low as well compared to Simon here. Of course, Simon known for having a lot of power. Much higher line. This is gonna challenge the OB on the left.
That's fine.
Yeah, good claps.
So are you going hyzer flip up or stable disc with a flat release?
I think the best play is gonna be that more stable disc. You really have a lot of space on the right side. Are some backside trees that you can aim towards. See if they come into play. Those big spruces on the right side.
Hey-o.
This is too wide though. Needs to finish to be inbounds.
Easy? Oh my god, that was so wide.
Do you agree, kind of like on hole 7, his run-up was pretty far to the right already? From the tee box, he was really running up to the right side.
You were mentioning that. It's maybe the problem. I was not focusing on that, so not able to confirm the info. But maybe it is. That was a crazy mistake. We can't avoid saying it. It was too late. And that's gonna be a long putt to save, almost making this for Niklas.
So for a bogey, and that's gonna be back-to-back double bogeys for Albert Tamm. And Simon, with that wind from the Baltic Sea, that was a right-to-left wind for him. And what are we looking at? Back 9, really interesting action, couple of short missed putts to begin with.
Yeah, and I think it's the second time for Simon this round, putting for bird. This one was from a long range. But yeah, birdie opportunity for him. Then a tester here around 7-8 meters, not able to save it. And that's an easy birdie. Like a walk in the park for Ricky, 11 down through 12. He's in the lead with 6 holes to attack. And as you can see, everybody is back in the clubhouse. Calvin Heimberg, 7 down through 13. Josef Berry, 7 down through 14 also. Hole 13, par 3, long one.
Yeah, another hole of this really difficult stretch on the course. Really anything from 10 to 15, or excuse me, 10 to 14 are the most difficult holes. 155 meters, we're going a little bit downhill, so probably playing closer to 145. There is a slight headwind though as we're going towards the sea. Really the danger is gonna be that OB on the left and right side. OB long is unreachable for everybody on the card. Honestly, there is not a player in the world that should be worried about long OB if they're throwing the correct stability disc here. Really all about hanging it out pretty wide here. It has to be a little bit wider than you would think on this hole.
And it looked slightly early. Yeah, it couldn't fade earlier than that. Just left, but he's gonna putt for birdie again. You can go a bit wider, I'd say, and that's a bit too much turn for Niklas.
Yeah.
Long look.
I'd say Niklas should be probably pretty happy with that. You know, not being a huge arm, needs that flip up to get all the way to the basket. And Simon, with more arm speed, able to hold the hyzer with a flip up to flat angle. And look at this shot. Challenging the left side OB. He's gonna be safe though. 2 shots inside the circle is pretty impressive here. And let's see Albert to match that. Also a very far throwing player. Has won plenty of distance competitions in the US.
And as you can see here, hyzer flip up, I'd say. Good drive, just inside the circle as the players are moving towards the basket. Niklas with a long look. Yeah, right side. Not the best round for our Finnish champion. And a good putt from Albert. 2 down, 2 double bogeys in a row. Needed this one.
Yeah, super important. And Ricky here for another birdie. Look at that. He's in the middle, you know, all of his drives are looking great. Really the only one that was a little bit off was on hole number 10. But even the putts from inside the circle, as Simon misses another one. That's the difference. You know, a little bit shaky from inside the circle compared to Ricky on the pole on every stroke.
You're right. I think Simon missed a couple putts. He could have been 8-9 down pretty easily. Not able to capitalize as Richard was and is doing since the start. Hole 14, that's a new one, par 3, going uphill. That's a hard one.
Yeah, super hard. I'd say this might be the hardest hole to get inside of circle 1 for the birdie on the course. 135 meters. You have to go with a pretty steep hyzer release off the hand. Ideally, if you want to get close, you need a little bit of flip up with a distance driver. Try to push the inside corner, but also flip up at the same time to get that ideal distance. You can also play a bit safer, a bit wider, but you can't really get inside of C1 here with that wide shot. Like this one is gonna be putting, you know, on the backside. He's gonna be far side of circle 2. But man, on this one, even to get to 10 meters, it really takes a perfect shot.
Oh, and that's high for Albert. Okay, going behind those trees in the middle, and he's gonna be inside the circle. That's a good looking shot, also even better. Yeah, a bit more inside. Yeah, good drives for both Niklas and Albert.
This needs good flip up, just catching the branches. That's the risk with the high shot, challenging the branches, but everybody looks to be inside of circle 2. Or Ricky might be just outside. I think he's about, 22 meters here.
He's able. Oh, good run. That's gonna be the second par of his round. And that's unusual from Niklas.
Yeah, really not just quite on right now. And Albert, this is difficult to watch. He's driving the disc mostly really well. He had that one errant shot on 12. The rest of it is just, the putts are not quite falling in.
Did we miss Simon's birdie putt? I'm pretty sure we did. No worries with that, and Albert to save the par. Yeah, par frame on this one is not that bad. You can look for some birdies, but that's a real toughie. As the players are going to play hole 15 now, par 4, 197 meters. What do we need to know?
Yeah, this one compared to the previous holes, a very gettable birdie. It's all about the drive. Really on this hole, if you throw a good drive, the approach is pretty simple. On the drive you need, it's another one of these low ceiling shots. You'd like to throw either a fairway or potentially even a distance driver. You want to hit it pretty straight, flat under the low ceiling. If you're able to do that and get some good flight under the branches, you're not gonna have much more than 70-80 meters for this approach. There's a pond in between, OB short of course, but really just one big tree in the way for the approach. And yeah, it's all about the drive. Just hit it low under the branches and get as much distance as possible. As Ricky, this is pretty much picture perfect. Fading a little bit left, opening up more of a hyzer angle to the green, but that couldn't really be any better as a drive.
Yeah, good shot from Ricky. And what do you think about that forehand line for Albert?
I think that's a solid play. If he's more comfortable hitting that gap with the forehand, it's fully okay. I think it's easier to get the push with the backhand though. As you can see, Niklas getting some good flip up through the gap. Getting much more distance.
And also with the fade, you know, with the forehand you can fade right and maybe make the angle a bit tighter on the approach. That's maybe the only fear I had when I was seeing Albert going with that forehand option. That's out of bounds for Simon left side. And not going well.
Yeah.
As expected. He was playing really solid on the front nine. One mistake maybe just on hole 8, 9, if I remember.
Let's see, Albert here trying to play it rather a bit long than short of this basket. And look at this shot, not playing long at all, just the perfect speed control. Getting over the OB wall on the long side of the pond, but just slowing down before the basket. That's impressive.
Yeah, very nice stroke from Albert. And now Simon, easy going for that.
This is low. And yeah, that never made it across the OB, so he's gonna have to play his 5th shot from the short side of those tupla banners.
Tupla. Oh, and that's the only danger you have on that second shot. Those trees are so close from the OB, you can just hit them and bounce backwards to the OB area, even to the water. And that's wide and perfect from Ricky. No crazy ball, catching the koozie. That's gonna be 13 down through 15 for him. And he's already 3 strokes ahead of the rest of the field.
That's
and
incredible.
3 holes to go.
That's incredible. I think we missed Simon's approach over the tupla banners as Niklas makes a great putt. He's not happy with the round,
Yeah.
you can see that.
He's frustrated. Yeah, 5 straight bars to start the back 9. Slow front.
And Simon, ironically, on the tupla hole, getting a double bogey, which in Finnish is tupla.
Tupla. Double bogey is tupla.
Yes. And good birdie there from Albert. Getting the pain a bit.
Yeah, very nice second shot, definitely. And still able to just go back to 5 down. Okay, Vino, 10 down, pretty nice, and Calvin still in contention to be lead card tomorrow if he's able to cash 2 birdies on the last 2 holes. Hole 16 now, par 3, 94 meters.
It's a nice hole. It's kind of a casual hole. It feels very easy if you're comfortable with that low ceiling. If you're not though, it becomes super tricky. It's all about keeping your shot just barely under the limbs. It's really a straight shot with a small left finish. The distance would suggest a mid-range, but a lot of the players are actually throwing a fairway driver just to keep that height, you know, even going a couple of meters off the ground, throwing it soft. You can see Ricky here going with a slightly stable fairway, and look at that, he's just on the edge of the bullseye again. He's gonna go 14 under through 16 holes. Incredible stuff. You have to consider that even with last year's easier layout of the same course, the course record was 13 under. So Ricky going already more under par on a more difficult course.
Yeah, definitely tougher this year. So again, impressive until now, 13. With a good shot on this one also. Decent from Niklas. Two in a row. Oh. And Simon is playing really fast. Meaning he's not really happy about the game right now. That's gonna be a birdie opportunity to go back to 3 down. Any birdie he can get, he needs to take.
Good putt there from Niklas. We have great potential for even a star frame here, as everybody's well inside the circle. Let's see Albert here. Important putt for the confidence. And he hits it left side, but that's clearly in, and yeah.
And 4 down is okay. He has 2 holes to attack. Potentially 6 down at the end, which is a pretty solid round in the end. Even Niklas, Simon, everybody can be in the mix. You know, if you don't count Ricky, 14 down for the moment, 4 strokes ahead of everybody. And all 17 now, uphill par 3.
Yeah, this is gonna be, for Ricky, this is gonna be the toughest test out of the last 2 holes. It's a really nerve-wracking hole, you know, in a way, as hole 7 on the front 9, you have that OB left and right, and that double mando about halfway through the fairway. Another low ceiling shot, have to go uphill with a low ceiling, so height control is gonna be so crucial here. Really plays best for a straight fairway driver. Wanna throw it pretty hard compared to the distance of 94 meters. Yeah, all about just handling that gap. You need to hit it flat and don't really have any finish. As Ricky a bit more hyzer than he would like, getting through the left side trees, just missing the last tree, and he's gonna be circle 2, but it's a chance.
Yeah, C2 uphill putt opportunity incoming. And we have the same kind of danger as hole 7 is presenting to the players. Any kick can be massive, and just sending your disc to the right or left OB. That's a good shot from Niklas, a bit too low, but left with a good opportunity to have a turkey.
And Simon here, actually watching this live, he ran up and stopped 2 times before this actual shot that we saw. So maybe a little bit distracted there by something, maybe some buzzing insects. And Albert here, unfortunate bogey. Well, really not unfortunate, you know, it's a common result to hit a tree and go OB here, but doesn't really want to bogey this hole. Simon with a run. Good touch.
Yeah, long one. Come on. Thank you. Good birdie. Turkey for Niklas. Good answer to the tough round he's going through. Because again, 3 down is okay. That's not the best. He can definitely do better. We all know that. We have a slow-mo again. So smooth. We were talking about that pace and the speed he's putting into that putting technique. Nothing can happen to the disc entering the chains.
For sure, and definitely one of the spinniest putts as well. As Ricky is going from 14 meters and he's in 15 under through 17. What are we watching right now?
Because he's so comfortable on C1 and it's inside the circle since the start, but now he's showing everybody that he has everything in the pocket on this round.
And believe it or not, that was the only time so far during this round he has been in circle 2 putting. The putt he had a couple of holes ago from pretty far away, that was outside of circle 2. So he's 100% C1X, 100% C2 putting as well.
Yeah, unfortunately 0% C3. Oh wow. Entering the last hole of the course and of the round. Look at that beauty.
Look at that beauty as it's empty, but we're gonna see with the crowd it's even more beautiful. And the sunset. It's a pretty late round, you know, starting at 5 for the feature card. Hole 18 though, 151 meters, playing downhill, much shorter playing in reality. And really it's just a big hyzer, either side you can go forehand, but most players going for that big backhand hyzer. All about controlling the line here, you have to put it much wider than you actually think.
They could go for a putter contest, just go straight at the basket. Could be fun. And do you know like how long the round took? So like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something, super fast. And look at the crowd, lots of people waiting for the players down there. It's a good looking shot.
Oh! Excuse me, just hit the cage? Did he just barely miss? I'm not sure. That was no more than a few centimeters from going in the basket. That's insane how dialed in he is on a 150 meter hole, and he's missing the chains by not many centimeters.
And imagine finishing that kind of round with an ace. Godlike. That's a good shot from Niklas. You can see he was a bit safer than Ricky, less wider. He's gonna have a C2 putt for Bird to finish the round.
Simon there, good width. Anytime you see the disc going towards that tall tower on the right side, that's usually a good sign of the width. You can see it fading in the circle.
Yeah, 8 meters to go 4 down. Oh, is it slightly early and really high also? Not the best effort. He's gonna be left with a 15 to 17 meters putt in front of the crowd.
The energy that was in the crowd at this very moment was just incredible. Words can't even describe how anticipating everybody was.
Everyone is cheering and ready for Ricky. Everybody knows what's happening right now. 16 down. 16 down. Please.
First though, Niklas here. He's pulled it to the right. Not his proudest round. I know he's definitely not happy with it. Nor he should be. Really a subpar round for his standards. And Albert, kind of the same thing, you know, he had a lot of potential, so much potential in the round to even go double digits.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't really care right now. There's gonna be 3 down for the rest of the card. So if you just put them together, they are still 7 strokes behind Ricky.
That's insane. That's so insane. And in the crowd, it's almost feeling like it's the final round and they're just winning or waiting for the winner to come and tap in their final putt. And let's just listen to the reaction.
If you didn't check on PG, it's the 3rd best rated round ever in disc golf history. 11-19 rated round. That's crazy.
And Ricky, live on the spot, his Estonian jersey, he's signing it for the historical round. And watch this. Taking his shirt off, putting another shirt on, and he's gonna throw it to the ground, to the crowd. Who's gonna be the lucky person to get this historical jersey? We don't know, but they're probably happy.
Yeah, they were fighting. They were right there in the tower, and there were like 6-7 guys trying to fight for the jersey. That guy must be happy. 6 strokes ahead of the rest of the field after round 16 down, and the lead card tomorrow will be James Proctor, Väinö Mäkelä, and Kyle Klein. I'm pretty happy to see one European player in this, and yeah, pretty stoked by what we've just seen. We were, talking about that, like it seemed so easy, nothing crazy, he was just going with the plan. Crazy smart golf.
That is incredible. That is the best round we have seen on MDG media. Best round of Ricky's career. 1,119 rated.
Man, like I hope you enjoyed. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And we'll see you on moving day. It's gonna be exciting, guys.